I'm a solo hiker, and sometimes I hike at night, like my recent trip to Delicate Arch in Arches National Park. When I tell people that, they often look at me with surprise. Why is the idea of a woman venturing out alone so shocking? Would you feel comfortable solo hiking? What if your dad told you he was going? What if it was your mom? Oh, I see your faces. The viral man versus bear question sheds light on why this reaction is common. In a TikTok video, an interviewer asked 8 women on the street, would you rather be alone in the woods with a man or a bear? And there we go. 7 of them answered bear. And since then, women across social media and in this audience have weighed in to explain why they would also choose the bear. This exposes that the main concern discouraging many women from getting outdoors or moving through the world is not the fear of animals. It's the fear of human predators. Safety is a fundamental requirement for health and well-being, and spending time outdoors is essential for our mental and physical health, but there is a disconnect between wanting to enjoy nature and feeling safe doing so. This fear about personal safety is the main barrier to solo hiking, especially for women and historically excluded groups who also experience violence at disproportionate rates, including Black, Indigenous, people of color, and the LGBTQ community. According to studies, 71% of women alter activities they want to do because of safety concerns, even though women are most often assaulted by people they know. No matter our gender, color, culture, age, or race, we may relate to these or other safety concerns. Over the last decade, as a violence prevention educator and self-defense expert, whether I'm training military groups, colleges, or companies, I've noticed that fear is the common denominator for people, and it affects the choices we make. I don't want this for us. We have the right to feel safe and confident doing the activities we love. I don't solo hike because I'm brave, even though I am. I solo hike because after experiencing trauma as a child, the outdoors became my safe place. It brings me joy, elevates my mood, and fills me with independence and empowerment that I carry with me in every element of my life. There's something else that helped me heal and can help get more people outside. It's the skills I learned and now teach, known as empowerment-based self-defense. And did you all just start thinking of a physical fight? Is this what you imagine when I say self-defense? There are a lot of misconceptions out there, right? Most people equate it with action movies or martial arts, punches and knees to groins. I get it. I thought the same thing for a long time. Empowerment-based self-defense is so much more. And actually, it's 80% non-physical. That's what makes it so applicable to daily life, relationships, and outdoor activities. It's knowing you're worth fighting for more than it is about actually fighting. On the surface, the outdoors and self-defense may seem unrelated, but they are fundamentally linked. Survival is a driving force in nature, and it is a human right to be connected to our own safety mechanisms. That connection is the overlap. I envision a world where we don't limit ourselves, and anyone who wants to get outside feels comfortable doing so. We do have to acknowledge, though, that there are societal intersections to consider. Violence doesn't happen in a vacuum. Although I don't have time to unpack everything in this talk, my focus is on giving people the safety skills to deal with the realities of today while working to make tomorrow a safer place. Let me share how self-defense transcends the physical skills to create newfound freedom for solo hiking or walking your dog at night, going on that early morning run, or taking that job in a new city. Back to my solo night hike to Delicate Arch. I pulled into the trailhead parking lot at 4 a.m. because I wanted to get there for sunrise. I mean, who wouldn't? So I headed off into the pitch black night with only my headlamp to light the way. I was isolated with nothing but open desert around me. Cue the Law and Order music. I had a moment of hesitation. Was I really doing this trail in the dark alone? I'm an experienced hiker and I've navigated difficult trails, but honestly, night hiking can still be intimidating, rational or not. I needed more than my technical hiking skills to overcome this feeling. And that's where those 80% of non-physical self-defense skills come in, such as my awareness and the confidence in knowing I have everything I need on my body to be able to handle dangerous situations. Really, the only thing I wouldn't be prepared for is aliens. I mean, I have no playbook for aliens. Reminding myself of my earthly skill set, I continued on, and an hour later, I reached Delicate Arch, and I was the only one there. I sat and enjoyed this solitary moment in nature until the crowds arrived. We don't have to choose between being safe and going outdoors solo. We can do both. It's not about being fearless. Empowerment is about facing fear and not allowing it to stop our forward motion in the world. What would open up for you if you felt safe? Empowerment-based self-defense education alleviates fear and opens up our access to life and outdoor adventures. It's a genre of comprehensive, evidence-based safety strategies that incorporates verbal, body language, mindset, and physical skills for violence prevention. The 80% that's non-physical are the skills that we use daily. We don't go around using elbow strikes and side kicks in work meetings. Or do you? Should we talk afterwards? Instead, we're using what I call the foundations of safety, which are intuition and awareness, alongside other core skills like de-escalation, boundary setting, and the power of your voice. Your voice is your first weapon. Let's practice some self-defense right now. Y'all can stay in your seats. I'm gonna get in my power stance. You can do the hands with me at your seat. So everyone, put your hands up, palms facing out in front of your face, elbows down. I'm going to yell no, and you are going to yell no back to me. We good? Okay. No! No! That was pretty good. We're gonna do it one more time. Same thing. No! No! Look at that. You're naturals. Self-defense offers tools for our toolbox so we can make informed decisions about our safety, no matter who we're with or where we are. And remember, 20% of those tools are physical. Knowing how to use your body can change how you move through the world. It can be life-changing to be equipped with resources for practicing empowerment in your own life, especially for those of us who are survivors of violence. Self-defense connects us to our agency while obliterating the harmful stereotypes about women's capacity to protect themselves. Knowing we have options when faced with risk is valuable. I should know. My self-defense skills saved me 3 years ago in Madrid. I was vacationing with a friend on Christmas Eve. We finished dinner and we took a cab to get back to our hotel. As I was getting into the backseat of the cab to go, a man attacked me. I turned and faced him using my voice and my body, and I said, "Hey, what's going on?" And that stopped him in his tracks. A few seconds later, he tried to kick me in the face. And because my hands were up, I blocked him, and then had the time to get around the back of the car to get in on the other side, we drove off unharmed. The fact of the matter is that the world is unpredictable, but that does not have to stop us from enjoying our life. We can carry empowerment through self-defense with us so we can be prepared. We change the narrative when we refuse to allow stereotypes to define how we live. 4 days after that attack, while still in Europe, I went on a solo hike to process the encounter. The outdoors is a place of healing for me, and studies show the many health benefits of the exposure to nature, including improved mood and self-esteem, lowered risks of anxiety, depression, and symptoms of PTSD. Empowerment-based self-defense mirrors those benefits. It increases confidence and assertiveness. It reduces anxiety, obsessive fear, depression, and PTSD. Studies over the last 40 years have shown that empowerment-based self-defense can lower the risks of sexual assault by up to 50%. People who have had this training have said, this helped me transition my thinking from a place of fear to one where I am worth fighting for. Until society changes, perpetration is eliminated, and women no longer choose the bear as the safer option, self-defense allows us to acknowledge fear and the unknown and say to ourselves, I have what I need to protect myself. I can mitigate risk with knowledge. Autonomy over your life doesn't mean you have to solo hike. It means the choice is yours. It may help you face something else in your life you've been avoiding due to fear. What would open up for you if you felt safe? Some ways that you can take action today are to use your voice more often. Find a trail, park, or street in your area and take 10 minutes to walk solo. Self-defense is transformative. It allows us to retrieve the parts of ourselves that society has tried to erase, restrict, or control. It restores our strength and independence and allows us to advocate for ourselves. This past summer, I did a solo backpacking trip to one of my favorite places called Big Pine Lakes, and I set up my tent here for this spectacular view, knowing the view at night was going to be epic, and I got up to stargaze. Here I was, solo, high in the mountains, away from city lights and people, laying on a rock above a lake, looking up at the sky. I was overwhelmed at this humbling view of the Milky Way. And I had a revelation. This is exactly what empowerment through self-defense is all about. I am free to explore the world any way I want on my own terms. And so can you. I'll leave you with a final question. What would open up for you if you felt safe? Thank you. Thank you.